Teacher Sam here with another episode of You, Me, and News. It's totally possible that you guys are watching this episode now and saying, oh my gosh, Teacher Sam completely forgot about us. She completely forgot about this YouTube channel. That's not true. Let me tell you something. I am fully committed to this YouTube channel, but sometimes I get so busy during the week that it's literally impossible to record the episode. So honestly, guys, I don't want to stress myself too much, so I say, listen, okay, if we need to miss a week or two, that's fine, but that's not my goal. Make sense? I'm truly committed to this YouTube channel, and believe me, you guys, if I could, I would bring you a new episode every 2 days. But this is what we can do right now, okay? And so we're doing what we can with what we have. Now, keep our goal in mind, which is what? We want to try to get as many subscribers as possible by the month of December. Listen, maybe we'll get there, maybe we won't, but I do want us to try our best. So please share the episode with your friends and other people that you know who you believe want to learn English and need to learn English, okay? Another thing, some of these stories that I'm going to share with you guys in every video, some of them might be a little bit older. For example, the episode that I'm going to share with you guys today is actually kind of from January. No, we did not record the video in January, no, but the story started to happen all the way back in January, right? So again, that's another thing I just want you guys to keep in mind, but it's not something that I want us to stress about, because remember the goal here, which is what? Learning English, improving our pronunciation, improving our ability to understand, and learning new words. Yes? So let's get started. So have you heard about Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni? What is going on with that story? Hey everyone, welcome back to You, Me, and News, the place where we talk about the latest news in simple English so you can learn and understand it all much better. Today, we're talking about a big story in Hollywood. It's about two famous actors, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. And look, it all started with a very popular book called It Ends With Us. Now look, this book is called It Ends With Us, and the book was written by Colleen Hoover. So this book was a huge success. It sold over 10 million copies. Guys, that's a lot of books. So the story in this book is about domestic violence. Let's pause here just for a second and explain what domestic violence is. Look, domestic violence is when someone in a family or a relationship hurts another person on purpose. This can mean hitting that person, yelling at that person, or treating them in a scary way and controlling way, right? So it's not just about physical harm. It can also be just making someone feel afraid, not letting them make their own choices, or saying really mean things to make them feel bad. So as you can see here, based on my explanation, this book is about a really serious topic like domestic violence. Now, as I told you earlier, the book sold over 10 million copies. And because it was so popular, one man had an idea. And that man was Justin Baldoni. Justin is an actor, and a director. You know, he thought, wow, this book is amazing. I think it would make a great movie. So guess what? He decided to turn the book into a film. He didn't just want to direct the movie, by the way. He also wanted to act in it. He decided to play one of the main characters named Ryle. And let's pause here just for a second. What do I mean when I say he wanted to direct the movie? Write down this verb, to direct. Directing a movie means being the boss of how the story is told on screen. So the director decides how the actors should act, where they should stand, and how they should say their lines. They also work with a team to choose, like, you know, the right camera angles, music, and special effects to make the movie look and feel just right. It's like being the captain of a big team. You know what I mean, right? Making sure that everything comes together to create an amazing story for people to watch. It's also important for us to remember that there are several important characters in the story, but the main characters are Ryle and Lily. So this case is kind of interesting because Justin Baldoni wanted to direct the movie. But remember, he also wanted to play one of the main characters in the movie. But then he was left with this question, wait a minute, who would play the other very important female character named Lily? That's when another famous person joined the project, Blake Lively. So just look at the picture here. I'm sure you all recognize her. So who is Blake Lively? She's a very famous actress. You know, you might know her from this TV show called Gossip Girl, or you might know her from movies like The Age of Adeline, A Simple Favor, etc. So she's married to another famous actor, Ryan Reynolds. When people heard that Blake would play Lily in this movie, It Ends With Us, honestly, many were excited, but some people were not happy. Why? Because they thought, wait a minute, Blake was too old for this role. You see, the book's character, Lily, is in her 20s, and Blake is almost 40. But that was just the beginning of the drama, and that's why I want to talk to you guys about this today. So, you see, as the movie was being filmed, something unexpected happened. Blake Lively started making changes to the movie. Yes, she wanted to change the script. You know, and what is the script? The written lines that actors say in a movie. She wanted to rewrite parts of the movie. But the problem was, she wasn't the writer. The script was already written by Colleen Hoover, the author of the book and the movie director, Justin Baldoni. So now, imagine this. You write a story, you give it to a movie director, but then all of a sudden, an actor wants to make changes to your story without really asking you. Look, you might feel angry about this, right? Look, that's exactly what happened. Blake Lively wanted to change the story, and Justin Baldoni let her do it. Many people online started saying that Blake Lively was kind of taking too much control. They said she was acting like a director even though she was only supposed to be an actress in the movie, yes? Some reports said that Blake removed scenes, changed lines, and made the movie different from the book. Now, fans of It Ends With Us were worried. They didn't want the movie to be too different from the book they loved. But here's where things get even more complicated. Blake Lively didn't just change the movie. She also tried to connect her changes to a very important movement in Hollywood, the Me Too movement. And look, I'm adding the hashtag Me Too movement. Why? Because this is a huge movement. And let's pause here just for a second. Because what is the Me Too movement? The Me Too movement actually started in 2017. It was kind of a way for women, especially in Hollywood, to speak up about bad experiences they had with like powerful men in the movie industry. Many women shared stories about harassment, write down this word, harassment and abuse. The movement was very important because it helped bring justice to many women. It did. But what does this have to do with the movie It Ends With Us? Well, you guys, Blake Lively used the Me Too movement to justify her changes to the movie. She really did. Why? Because she said she wanted to make the story more respectful to women. She claimed that some parts of the book were too violent or too problematic and needed to be rewritten. But here's the problem. Many people felt that Blake Lively wasn't really trying to help women. Instead, they believed she was using the Me Too movement to get more power and control over the movie. And honestly, this is where the big drama started. Some people even accused her of trying to make herself look good instead of actually caring about the movement's real message. And what about the author, Colleen Hoover? I mean, how did she react to this whole thing? Well, she stayed silent. She didn't say much about Blake's changes. But fans believe she wasn't very happy. Now, what did this whole thing mean for the movie? Look, this story teaches us something important. It teaches us that making a movie is not easy, right? There are many people involved, directors, actors, writers, and look, sometimes they disagree on what the final movie should look like. Right? But it also teaches us that, in a sense, we have to respect everyone's part in the making of that movie, right? So if in this case, Justin Baldoni is the movie director, then it's his job to do all these things, right? Blake Lively cannot all of a sudden just get involved and be like, well, I'm going to add all these changes and let's see where this takes us. So now you're like, okay, where's the drama, right? Look, because this story is so complicated and so many things have happened since January, I'm gonna make this part like the first part of the story, right? But trust me when I tell you, things do get a lot more complicated. Why? Because all of a sudden, Blake Lively actually decides to kind of sue Justin Baldoni. She decides to go out there and say, hey guys, let me tell you, this guy, Justin Baldoni, was not good to me during the movie. He was actually very rude to me and he did many inappropriate things. That's what she said, right? Now look, when someone is saying something about another person and we don't know if that's true, in English we say, this is what happened allegedly. So write down this word, allegedly. So look, Blake Lively came out and she said that this and this happened allegedly. According to her story, Justin Baldoni behaved inappropriately. He said things to her that were inappropriate. And this is the part here, the gossipy, juicy part that I'm going to get into in another episode. Kind of think of it as part 2 of this episode. But look, I do want to share a video with you here that came out recently. I don't want to say the video came out recently, but someone decided to share this video with all of us on social media, right? All of us who have followed this story on social media recently. And I think this video is so interesting because you actually hear, literally, Blake Lively herself tell you that when she got there to do her job as an actress, she wasn't really happy about just having that job. She really wanted to do much more than act. Listen to this video and you'll understand what I mean. Let's take a listen.
Set, I knew that they just wanted me to show up and look cute and stand on a little pink sticker where I'm supposed to go and say what I'm supposed to say, but I also knew that that wasn't fulfilling for me, that I wanted to be a part of the storytelling, that I wanted to be a part of the narrative, whether that be in the writing, in the costume design, in creating the character. And sometimes I had directors or producers or writers who would welcome that and invite that once they saw that I was able to offer that. And sometimes I would have people who really resented that because they were like, we just hired you to be an actor. Yet when I went in the meetings, I would just seem like I'm just there to be the actor and ready to get the gig. I wouldn't reveal that I actually need to have authorship in order to feel fulfilled. So I think that for them, sometimes that might have felt like a rug pull because you're like, you're trying to assert yourself into something that we didn't hire you to do.
Now, did you hear what she just said there? She literally said, yeah, I kind of pretended that I was just going to act, but really my plan was to kind of go in there and change things around. Guys, I know that it kind of seems like this story is a little bit incomplete in today's video, and sort of it is, right? But again, because there's so much to say here, I did not want to create like a super long video focusing only on this story. Instead, we'll do kind of 2 parts here, right? But think of this first part as like kind of the introduction, okay? Believe me, the story gets a lot more complicated and a lot messier. So as always, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, and tell me in the comments, what do you think? As you already know, I like hearing your take. I like knowing what you think. So let me know in the comments below. Do you think Blake Lively should have actually pushed to become that involved in the movie if all she needed to do was act? Do you think that was inappropriate? What are your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments below. And also, if you don't want to share your take, let me know in the comments below, if you learned any new words here today. All right? Thank you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Wednesday.